Good morning. This is December the 26th, Thursday, 2024. We are in BBIS first semester compulsory English class. We started reading Lion Singh Bangdel's story Langada ko Sathi last week. This is the title of a book by Bangdel, which contains some other stories also, I guess. Last year, someone bought a copy of this book and gifted me. I have at home. And we were reading this story very closely, paying attention to the elements of narrative, like setting, time, place, atmosphere. We paid attention to the characters. We had human characters, we had non-human characters, place, dialogue. We also talked about the theme, right? And there is something in a story which I didn't talk in this story, which I'd like to mention, that is plot. Plot is the sequence of events, in a story. What happens one after another, right? So as you can see my drawing on the whiteboard, mostly in narratives, plot movement might visually look like this. So this is normal situation. This is most critical situation. From here to here, this is rising action, and from here to here, this is falling action. And somewhere at this point, there is something called conflict, where something happens which creates a problem. Then as you move ahead, you have complication in this story. Complication means things become worse and worse, rather than the situation becomes worse rather than being normal, right? And at this point, we have very critical situation. Here, at this point, somebody may be murdered, right? Or something very unexpected may happen if it is a tragedy. Or the most exciting action happens at that point. Then somewhere here, you may have something called discovery, like in like in Bollywood, old typical movies you will see, like the movie Judwa. There will be twin brothers who got separated in their childhood, and now just at this point the twin brothers will be fighting with each other, trying to kill each other. And then all of a sudden, the very typical character Rakhi will come running, the mother's role in Bollywood movies, Rakhi, old mother. She will come running and she will hold them in their arms and she will tell, no, you are not enemies. You are my children, you are brothers. Look, the mark here. And she will show kind of mark in both brothers' arms. River discovery. And then they will discover, oh, we were not enemies, we are brothers. And then all animosity will subside and then things will cool down. And toward the end, they'll be married to the two girls they were in love, or they will be married to the girl they were fighting for, or they will settle, they will compromise. And the movie will end with the garlanding of the bride and bridegroom. This is a typical Bollywood movie I remember watching in my childhood. This was what I didn't tell you in the last class, but I told you this thing while teaching the story A Cow War. Let's move on. So in the previous class, we were reading this scene here. I'd like to recapture and then move ahead. Is it a long paragraph? I guess seems to be a long paragraph. Yes. I'll read quickly just to help you connect with where we were in the previous class. The dog looked up and wagged its tail as if it understood it all, and Langada lovingly patted his friend on the head. Then with a smile he put his bundle over his shoulder and hopped off. When the two of them arrived back down at the chowk, Langada went to an eatery where he bought rice and meat served on a tapari, a small plate made of leaves which he carefully folded and tied up in his towel. Then he went to the puri and sweet shop where he put his bundle down. After giving the dog the rice and meat, he bought various sweet and savory dishes for himself. Tasty puri, tarkari, jalebi, nimki, peda and sandesh, all he had dreamt of, and began eating. He went back once for halwa and bunya and again for puri and sandesh. Langada was immensely happy and proud to be able to buy and eat so many mouth-watering treats for himself and his friend the dog. It was the first time in his life that Langada had enjoyed so much good food in this way all at once. As I read this paragraph to you, what comes in my mind is, look, this cripple's heart. His heart is very generous. He has no money. He is poor in money, but he is very, very rich in terms of kindness. Real richness is not money. Real richness is generosity. I don't know whether you agree. You have billions and you cannot donate 10 rupees to a poor man. You are not rich because your money is not helping anyone in the world. Your money has no value. You are not rich. You have only 100 rupees. But you have the courage and the generosity to give off 20 rupees to someone to feed them. You are the real rich. So richness is not about money. Richness is about generosity. So ask a question. Are you rich of money or are you rich of kindness? This cripple is rich of kindness. Rich at the heart. Are you rich by the pocket or are you rich by the heart? Some people are rich by the pocket and stingy by the heart. Some people may be stingy by the pocket but very rich by the heart. So what matters is how rich your heart is, how generous your heart is, how open your heart is, how kind your heart is, not how stuffed your pocket is, right? So that's what I felt as reading to you. Second thing I found, as you read in the story, computers and the pursuit of happiness, the big question, what brings us happiness? So here, the cripple finds happiness in making the dog happy. So what do you learn? You obtain real happiness not when you hoard money, not when you hoard luxuries, not when you hoard things in life, not when you buy a big car. No. You find true happiness when you make another creature in this world happy and look into their eyes and see the rays of happiness, the rays of joys. Then you become happy. So, true happiness is in making someone happy. So ask a question to yourself right now, honestly. Whom did I make happy this week? And answer yourself silently. The question, can I get the attendance sheet? She has come to collect. Who became happy because of me this week, this month, this year, in this life? And write their names in a secret page of a diary. Right? Look how great. That's why literature does two things. One is it entertains. Second, it educates. Literature is so powerful. It does two things. It entertains. You feel pleasant as you read the story. And it instructs you. INSTRUCTS. Instruct means it teaches you how to live a good life, how to live a proper life, how to live an ideal life. That's why you should study humanities. That's why you should study literature. I'll highly encourage you, though you are management people, read some great novels of the world. For example, as I say this thing to you, the novel that comes to my mind is Crime and Punishment by the famous Russian novelist Fyodor Dostoevsky. It's a great novel, Crime and Punishment. Just this came to my mind. Russian authors are wonderful, world famous. Tolstoy, Chekhov. Read Anna Karenina. I challenge you, if you can, read War and Peace. It has 1,200 pages. It's just challenging you, right? Just challenging. If there is somebody in this class who says, Divakar sir, I can take up any reading challenge, here is a challenge for you. Because yesterday, I was reading an article in chronicle.com, and the article made me worried, because the article says that today in colleges and universities, students are not reading. And I agreed, because this is what I feel in the classroom also. I was happy. I said, oh, it's not only a problem at LSEM, it's in New York also, it's around the world. So I was happy, it's not only here, right? It's a normal thing. Because we have other options, right? We have mobile phones, we have laptops. Let's move ahead. Sorry, I got distracted. I became emotional. I said a lot of things, right? So I was saying literature has power. It can educate you. It can entertain you. So you find true happiness in making someone happy. Take a diary, pocket diary, and write there, early morning when you wake up, write a sentence. Today, I promise I'll make someone smile and leave your home. And whole day, keep that word in your mind, that sentence. I'll make people smile. And throughout the day, behave politely with people. Behave positively. Even if they criticize, don't get angry. Don't lose your emotions. Don't lose your patience. And help people emotionally. Help people financially. Help people physically. Lift an item. If somebody is carrying grocery in the driveway, help them carry it. Do everything that brings a smile on the faces of people. Why only people? Make a dog smile. Make a dog happy, as Langada does. Pat a dog, caress a dog, hug a dog, feed a dog, feed a bird, feed a cat, feed a beggar. Caress a sapling, plant, water it. So in your diary, write in black and white letters, I will be good, I will do good, I will make my family good, I will make my neighborhood good, I'll make my college good, I'll make my society good, I'll make this world good. And you will see, you will become a wonderful person. That's how good things begin. Right? All good things begin with good thoughts. Okay. So let's move ahead. On many days he had waited for hours with a gloomy face. This is this imagery. Literature is known for images, Because what is literature? Literature is a world created with word. Writers create a world with a word. The only tiny difference between the world and the word is a letter, L, right? Writers use imagination to create this world. So the world here in this story, Langada ko Sathi, is fictitious. It is fictitious. It is imagined world. It is fiction. It is imagination. But it reflects our reality. It reflects our reality. यसरी पढाइरहँदा पीडा हुन्छ कि एकदमै पीडा हुन्छ मलाई पीडा किन हुन्छ भने पढ्ने विद्यार्थी नै छैन तिम्रो त ह्युम्यानिटिजको विद्यार्थी होइन नि त तिम्रो त म्यानेजमेन्टको हो तिमीले यति गरेर पढ्नु जरुरी पनि छैन मेरो बानी गरेर पढाउँछु मैले तिम्रो त भोलि अर्कै एरियामा जान्छौ नि त तर यति गरेर पढ्ने कल्चर पनि हरायो यति गरेर पढ्ने विद्यार्थी पनि आउँदैन चासो पनि छैन सबैलाई एउटै धुन छ कसरी पैसा कमाउने सर्ट्सहरु हेर्यो भने सबै सर्ट के भन्छ पैसा कमाउने पैसा वी आर किलिङ ह्युम्यानिटी in the name of money. Please do something to save it. Read literature. Gloomy face. I was saying imagery, right? Images. Gloomy face. And was given not so much as a piece of bread. Why he was not given piece of bread? Because he had no money. दुई दिन अघि घरबाट आउँदै थिएँ माइक्रो बसमा थानकोटमा एकजना बदाम बेच्ने यङ 12-13 वर्षको बच्चा गाडीमा चढ्यो बदाम बेच्नलाई पिनट बेच्नलाई एउटा बेच्या होला कि बेचेन थाहा छैन गाडी गुड्यो उले अंकल झर्छु म रोक्दिनु न भन्यो गाडीको खलासीले चाहिँ रोक्दिन्न कसले छोडिस् भन्यो र थानकोटबाट चढेको 12 वर्षको केटालाई त्यो गाडीले कलङ्की ल्याएर मात्रै ओराल्दियो के त्यो केटा कति कराए कति भन्यो अंकल प्लिज भन्यो किन चढिस् भने कलङ्की ल्याएर ओराल्दियो होला त अरु कुनै गाडीमा चढ्दा थानको जालमा माने तर यो कुरा किन ल्याएँ मैले यहाँ एक्जाम्पल किन ल्याएँ? बिकज हि वाज नट पेइङ मनी. उसले भन्छ एउटा बलमको पकाले बल्ल ओह्राल्छु भन्छ त्यो खलासीले. एउटा पकालाई 50 रुपियाँ पर्ने रहेछ. उसले 50 रुपियाँ भाडा माग्यो कि गाडीवालाले त्यो बदम बेच्ने केटासँग. 12 वर्षको केटा, यङ भर्खर केटा छ. अनि म कस्तो हेरिरहेँ कि कस्तो मलाई केले छोयो भने आज हामी मान्छेलाई कस्तो बिहेभ गरिरहेछौँ त्यसले छोयो कि. ह्युमन भएर अर्को ह्युमनलाई कसरी ट्रिट गरिरहेको छ त्यसले छोयो कि मलाई. राइट. सो ट्रिट पिपल वेल इफ यु वान्ट देम टु ट्रिट यु वेल. अर्काले यो गर्ने भन्ने होइन कि आफूले त्यो गर्ने हो. आजकल मान्छेहरू कस्ता क्रुअल भने आफू काइन्ड भएर देखाउनु पहिला. So if you want to change the world, first change yourself. He had never been given a puri, although he had begged for it for hours in front of a shop. Begged for hours. But today, Langada did not have to open his mouth to beg. As I read this line, what comes to my mind is power of money. Though we time and again say that money is secondary, people are important. But do you realize here? What brings happiness to Langada? Cash. Langada is happy, the dog is happy because they have money. So though we are saying that people are more important than money, I agree. But at the same time, I feel like money is not less important than people. यो पर्समा हैन छ नि त आज कति छ आमामा धेरै रहेछ आज. ओहो लकिली बाई चान्स धेरै रहेछ. अराउन्ड 6-7 हजार छ. 10 days अगाडि कति थियो यहाँ? 5 रुपिस थियो मसँग जम्मा. 5 रुपिस कति दिन भयो? 5 दिन भयो. न्यू रोडमा बिर्सेर पार्क गरेछु बाइक. पर्समा के छ थाहा नभइकन बाइक निकाल्ने बेला त छैन पैसा. फोन पे गर्न खोजेँ डाटा छैन. अनि बाइक त्यहीँ राखेँ. न्यू रोड गएँ. नेपाल ब्याङ्कको हेड अफिस गएँ. क्युआर गरेर पैसा निकाल्न गएँ. के भएछ? फ्राइडेको कि कुन फ्राइडे के थियो? हेड अफिसमा गएको कर्मचारी गइसकेछन्. बाइक पार्किङमा छ. गोजीमा 5 रुपियाँ छ. अनि त्यो गार्डलाई भने लौ न केही गरिदिनु. अनि गार्डले त्यो मान्छे त्यो टोपी लागेको मान्छे छ नि त्यो हाकिममा त्यसलाई भन्नु त मिलाइन्छ त्यसले भने सिकाइदियो. अनि गएर म टियुको टिचर हो यस्तो पर्यो. अनि पछि उसले चाहिँ सिरियसली लियो. सर हुनुहुन्छ भित्र आयो. अनि क्यासियरलाई चाहिँ उहाँलाई हेल्प गरिदिनु भन्यो. अनि क्युआर गर्न खोजेको क्युआर गर्न मिल्दैन अहिले भन्यो. अनि के गर्नु पर्यो? फोन पेबाट मैले त्यहाँको कर्मचारीलाई पैसा पठाएँ उसको खातामा. त्यो कर्मचारीको गोजीमा चेक रहेछ. उसले चेक काट्यो. अनि क्यास काउन्टर क्यास लिएर आएर मैले बाइकलाई 30 कि 40 कतितिर घर आएँ कि. द्याट्स माई स्टोरी. पैसा नभए के हुन्छ? 5 रुपियाँ. मनी इज नेसेसरी टु मेक यु ह्याप्पी. दिस इज वाट ह्यापन्स व्हेन यु डोन्ट ह्याभ मनी. राइट. Langada did not have to open his mouth to beg. Another issue you will see in this story is the issue of poverty in society. The issue of inequality in society. The issue of classes in society, rich and poor. Rich versus poor. Nobody has a desire to beg. कसैलाई भिख माग्ने रहर त हुँदैन नि. But our society is such where some people become rich and rich and rich and rich. Some people become poor and poor and poor and poor. Right? But today Langada did not have to open his mouth to beg. He did not have to stretch out his hand. See this imagery. Hajur, ke pauna. You can imagine the face. Nor salute and call out to kind sirs. Hajur, Malik. See this word. See this word. Hajur, Malik, Prabhu. 3 words. Very important words. What do they show you? What do they represent you? What do they show you? They show a bitter reality of a society. What is that bitter reality? Class distinction. What is that distinction? The rich versus the poor. The haves versus have-nots. That reality. Hazur, Malik, Prabhu, oh God, even I feel painful as I read out the word, spell out the word. He did not even have to show his teeth. Look, this sarcasm. When a beggars beg, Hazur, Malik, Prabhu, the puckering face. That's how you pucker your face. Right? Today, eating happily of his own will. What brings happiness? Money brings happiness. As I read this line, what comes to my mind is equal distribution of wealth. This is what is coming in my mind. Equal distribution of wealth. Of his own will, his face lit up with delight and his eyes were filled with boundless joy. So what brings joy? Money brings joy, I have to say. We were saying people bring joy, I agree. But if people have no money, we see that it doesn't bring joy to them. I have a lot of money in my purse today, so I'm joyful. A week ago, I was sad. I was in trouble because I had only 5 rupees. So now I realize that it's not enough to say that people bring joy to you. We must add that people with money bring joy to you. People with money bring joy to you. But the question is, I don't know whether you agree or not. Yes, people with money bring joy. But you arrive at a point when money is not enough, you need people. When money is not enough, you need people. This character, the cripple, is highly inspiring to me. One thing that this character has inspired me, this is the second time I'm teaching you this story, is be generous, be kind-hearted, and first feed others before you feed yourself. Look, do you remember when the Langada buys everything and first Langada feeds the dog, then only eats. See this thing. First he feeds the dog. He doesn't eat himself. When other customers in the sweet shop saw the cripple spending his own money and eating so well, the customers knew him pretty well because he was familiar in that area. They looked at him curiously. Seeing this, Langada ordered 3 or 4 more rasgola and yummy pantua. Now, one thing that I understand, look, there is something called interpretation in literature. Interpretation is making meaning which is not given there directly. Interpretation about reading between the line. Now ask a question. When people look curiously at the cripple, they look curiously, why does he order more food? Why? To understand this, to assert his dignity. Every human has their dignity. The Nepali word for dignity is self-respect or Atma-samman. Atma-samman. So when I'm a beggar, I don't have my self-respect. I don't have my dignity because I have to say, Hazur, disyo na, 3 din bhar na khayeko, please. So I don't have my dignity. But when I have money, I don't have to go to you and say, Hajur, this and please. I can take out my money with pride on my face. कति हो यो रसगुल्ला कति हो? 100 रुपियाँ. ल मलाई एउटा दिस्यो त ल. ए दिन त ल. ल. I place the money on the counter. Right? See the pride, see the self-respect in my eyes. I have that confidence because I have the money, right? That's why reading and act, that makes you intelligent over time. Let me tell you clearly. Good readers are intelligent people. Who is a good reader? An intelligent person is a good reader. If you have a question, Divakar sir, how can I become more and more intelligent over the time? The best answer I'll say, read a lot. Because as you read, what reading does? Reading triggers your imagination. Reading triggers your thinking. Reading triggers your responses. And each time you respond to a piece of writing in literature, your thinking enhances. That's why those who read a lot, they are very intelligent people. Okay? So please, I repeat, if you have this question, के गर्यो भने हामी धेरै बुद्धिमान हुन्छ दिवाकर सर भन्दिनु पर्यो. The best answer is read a lot and read literature. Because literature is not information. It's not about information. Literature is about interpretation. Literature is about making meaning. एउटा किताब सम्झेँ कि नपढ्नु, जस्ट मैले पढाएको थिएँ जमानामा 20 वर्ष अगाडि. वन्डरफुल किताब छ. पाउँदैन होला, पाउँछ कि? R.A. James Scottले लेखेको हो. R.A. James James S-C-O-T-T Scott. किताबको नाम हो द मेकिङ अफ लिटरेचर. गजबको किताब छ. यो किताब कसैले पढ्यो भने लिटरेचर के हो राम्ररी चाहिँ बुझ्छ. तिम्रो जस्तो मान्छे जो त्यो एरियाको मान्छे होइन नि त, तिम्रो लागि नयाँ कुरा हो त्यो. अनि तिमीलाई चाहिँ यो के रहेछ थाहा भने यो किताब पढ, बिगिन फ्रम देयर. अनि यो किताब पढेपछि तिमीलाई एकदमै इन्स्पायर हुन्छ अगाडि पढ्नलाई. द मेकिङ अफ लिटरेचर, R.A. जेम्स स्कट. मैले 25-30 वर्ष अगाडि पढाए हो. हामी त गर्थ्यौँ भन्दाखेरि जस्ट मलाई भन्न मन लाग्यो कि बिए पढ्ने बेलामा यङ थियो, 20-21 वर्षको उमेर थियो. जसलाई देख्यो उसैसँग लप पर्थ्यो. उमेर हो नि त. अनि लप परेपछि त फिलिङ इमोसन चाहियो. केही भन्नु पऱ्यो, भन्न मन लाग्छ, केही लेख्नु पऱ्यो. कहाँ लेख्ने भन्दाखेरि एउटा 40 रुपियाँमा एउटा पोएट्रीको बुक पाउँथ्यो. 40 रुपियाँमा आइसी. कति सानो त्यो साइज ठ्याक्क गोजीमा अट्ने थियो. पकेट साइज बनाएको थियो. त्यसको नाम थियो गोल्डन ट्रेजरी. अहिले नि पाउँछ. नामै कस्तो. त्यो पालग्रेप पब्लिकेसनको थियो. अनि त्यसमा के थियो भने इङ्ग्लिस लिटरेचरमा गएको 1000 इयरमा लेखिएको बेस्ट लिरिकहरूको कलेक्सन थियो कि त्यसमा. हरेक पोइटको बेस्ट सङ त्यसमा थियो. अनि गर्ल्सलाई कुनै कुरा भन्न मन लाग्यो भने एउटा पोएम भेटिहाल्छ त्यहाँबाट. आफूलाई मन पर्ने केटीलाई के भन्न लाग्यो, लेख्न मन लाग्यो भने फाइन्ड अ पोएम. केटा भएकोले सरी यसलाई अन्यथा नलिनु होला, सम्झे मात्रै. वाइ लिटरेचर इज पावरफुल एन्ड हाउ. तपाईँले यो कुरा किनेको तपाईँलाई पनि यो उमेरमा चाहिँ त्यस्तो छ भने पढ्दा हुन्छ भनेर भनेको हो. बजारमा पाउँछ, यहीँ पनि पाउँछ, भोटाडीतिर पाउँछ. अहिले सानो साइजको पाउँदो रहेछ, ठुलो पाउँछ, अलि ठुलो पाउँछ. हाम्रो पालामा गोजी बट्ने पाउँथ्यो कि. त्यसले मलाई के अरे भने त्यसले लिटरेचरको लगाव बढायो कि मलाई. आई बिकेम मोर इन्ट्रेस्टेड इन लिटरेचर रिडिङ द्याट कलेक्सन अफ पोएम्स, गोल्डन ट्रेजरी. सो हियर वी रिड, राइट? आई वाज सेइङ he buys more sweets to assert his dignity, to assert his identity, new identity. He is no more poor, today at least. Right? Yummy pantua. I don't know what I read. I had checked. I don't know. I forgot what pantua is. Kind of food. In a voice loud. Listen his voice. In the previous paragraph, his voice was Hazur Malik Prabhu. Now his voice is loud. Enough. That. Do you see one thing I get here as I read this line? Poverty has no agency. Agency means if I say this girl has no agency, I mean she cannot speak for herself. She is dominated in Nepali culture and she can't speak for herself. But if I say this girl has strong agency, I mean she can strongly speak for herself. So agency means the ability to speak up for yourself. So do you see, when the cripple has money, he has agency. When the cripple has no money, he has no agency. So what brings agency? Money brings agency, right? That everybody heard him and tossed the money. Look, toss the money. See the gesture, hand gesture. Tossing the money. You make a sound on the table, on the counter. Toss the money. Down on the counter, after taking it out from his hanky, for the first time in his life. In his life. He was maybe in his 50s. He experienced how wonderful it felt to be independent and carefree enough to purchase and eat such wonderful food. I remember, I can understand this line. I remember the first time I got my salary from a job in 1991. The salary I got was 1,400. That was the biggest amount of money I had ever kept in my hand. I had never kept even 100 rupees in my hand. Maybe my father gave fare, I don't know. Then what I did? I collected 5 months' salary, 7,000. And I came to Kathmandu. Why? All the way from Parvat to buy a camera. Because buying a camera was my life's dream in 1991. And I went around New Road and I wanted to buy unique camera. And I bought Olympus camera. The unique thing about this camera was that if you put one reel of 36 exposure, the camera could take 72 photographs because it split every exposure in half. There was no other camera like that. I have it even today in my home as a preserve, as something that makes my memory. The first purchase, and I can understand this line because when I bought the camera, I felt that independence which he feels. So what brings independence to you? Money brings independence in life. What brings independence? Money brings independence. In one movie, Kegar Ke Dera, Haribamsa says, no, not Haribamsa, that another one. Money, money, bhani, money plant rope, mero money plant ma paisa phalne kaile, he says, in a song. Right? Wonderful food. After eating the meat and rice, the dog licked its chops and looked up at Langada. In response, Langada picked up a rice donut. And I don't know what is a rice donut. I haven't seen. I'm not familiar about the food culture in Darjeeling. And tossed it to the dog. Eat. Maybe he said, kha. Right. He said to the dog, I know this line pretty well because that's what I do at my home. Kukurलाई खानिदिएपछि उसले राखिदियो अगाडि अनि खाँदैन टक्क बस्छ त्यो मैले खाना बस्छ खाँदै खाँदैन अनि खाइरहेछ पख भने भने मुख झ्याप्पा माथि उठाउँछ नि हेरेर बस्छ के गर्न लाग्यो भनेर यति ओबिडियन्ट छ कि जायन्ट डग छ है खाना ठिक्क पाएर अनि चुपचाप बसरो हेरिरहन्छ। म 10 मिनटसम्म नखान खाँदैन। So I know this word because me and my dog are very close friends. My dog knows my language. I know my dog's language. He said to the dog, "What else do you want, Kale? It is for you to enjoy as long as I live." Oh God, how touchy line. Enjoy as long as I live. I don't know if I die, if somebody will feed you. Others in the sweet shop wondered at the cripple. They had seen begging for hours for food and saluting passers-by in front of the store. On this day, Langada did not care about his deformed limbs. Now, the word Langada, now you have another word here, phrase, deformed limbs, a visual imagery, right? I don't know, maybe if he didn't have below this part. He did not think about how the people laughed at him and cracked rude jokes. Look what people do, they crack rude jokes. Today he was not begging with pitiable eyes. He was not stretching his hand out and pleading for even the smallest of alms. Alms is the things that you drop on beggars' hands. Today he was free and felt content in his own little world. Why was he free? Because he had money. So what brings true independence? Money. That's so true, I agree. हिजो मात्रै फेसबुकमा बाइकहरू देखेँ अनि मलाई किन होन्डाको बाइक हेर्न मन लाग्यो, हेर्दै गएँ अनि बिग बाइक स्मल बाइक भन्यो, बिग बाइक हेर्न मन लाग्यो अनि त्यो RX 190 हेर्न मन लाग्यो, हेर्दै गएँ, फिलअप गर्दै गएँ फर्म अनि त्यहाँबाट कति पे गर्ने भने 50% पे गर्छु भने अनि लास्टमा फोन नम्बर माग्यो, सबै दिएँ अनि EMI निकाल्यो, लगभग 3.5-4 लाख पे गरेपछि चाहिँ अर्को 4 लाख महिनाको 34,000 अनि ढ्याक्कै क्लोज गर्दै इन्टु क्लिक गरेँ कि मलाई चाहिँ अफोर्डै गर्न सक्दिनँ मैले। अनि मलाई एकदिन सोचमा पऱ्यो कि आज मसँग 10 लाख क्यास हुन्थ्यो भने म झ्याप्पै किनिहाल्थेँ। मलाई त्यो RX 190 चढ्न रहर लाग्ने कि अग्लो बाइक हुन्छ नि त, रहर लाग्ने, पैसाले त भएन त। लाइक मनी इज भेरी इम्पोर्टेन्ट। सो मैले बारम्बार भन्छु कि मनी ठुलो कुरा होइन, तर आई स्टिल रियलाइज त्यो भने पनि मनी इज नट सानो कुरा। आफ्टर इटिङ यस देयर वाज नो वरी because there was money, no fear because there was money, no doubt because there was money, there was no frustration because there was money. त्यो के अरे क्राइम एन्ड पनिसमेन्टको ओपनिङ प्याराग्राफमा कस्तो सिन छ भने भाडामा बसेर एउटा तिमी हाम्रो उमेरको यङ केटा हुन्छ 18-19 वर्षको, त्यसले कति महिनाबाट घरबेटीको भाडा तिरे हुँदैन कि पैसा नभएर, गरिबी छ नि त। अनि माथि तला ऊ बस्छ, तल तला घरबेटी लेडी बस्छ अनि माथि भराङमा आएर त्यो घरबेटीलाई भाडा तिरेको 3 महिनाबाट एम्बारेसिङ भइरहेछ नि त। अनि त्यो घरबेटीको आँखा छलालाई भाराङमा कुरेर बस्छ, उसको पर्दा हुन्छ कि ढोकामा, हावाले पर्दा हल्लाइरहेको हुन्छ अनि त्यो कति बेला हावा बन्द होला, पर्दा स्टेबल होला अनि घरबेटीले नदेख्दा अनि भागोमा कुरेर बस्छ कि अलि बेर कुरेपछि त्यो हावा बन्द भएपछि पर्दा अडिन्छ अनि फुत्त दौडेर जान्छ कि त्यो जम्प गरेर जान्छ कि। ओपनिङ सिन यस्तो टच गर्यो मलाई पढ्दाखेरि, किन मैले त्यो फेस गरेको छु कि घरबेटीले भाडा नतिर्दाखेरि कस्तो हुन्छ, हाफ फेस्ट। मेरो घरमा नि अस्ति 6 महिना चाहिँ एकजना भाइ बस्यो, भागेर गयो, भाग्यो सामान्य छोडेर भाग्यो, 6 महिना भाडा तिरेर भाग्यो कि अब गरिबी होला, आई डोन्ट नो के भयो, तर फर्केर आएन। पोभर्टी, मनी। Today he thought of himself as similar to normal people with their whole and healthy limbs. So now the Langada didn't have the limb, but he felt he has the limb because he has the economic limbs. सबभन्दा बलियो खुट्टा के को खुट्टा हो? पैसाको खुट्टा। पैसाको खुट्टा छैन भने यो खुट्टाले केही पनि गर्दैन। हजुर मालिक प्रभु भन्दै हिँड्नुपर्छ। पैसा छ भने यो नभए पनि काम गर्ने मान्छे आउँछ, केयर गर्छ नि त। नाउ आई फिल कि मनी इज मोर इम्पोर्टेन्ट, राइट? The sun had shined pleasantly all afternoon. Now the scene changes. One thing you will see in literature, you will see an interplay between nature and society. Mostly you will see that writers bring nature and story parallel. When a story is tragic, you will see nature is also tragic. When a story is moving to comic relief, positive, nature also becomes beautiful. Now look, Langada is happy now, right? Now look, nature. The sun had shined pleasantly. Look, when Langada is happy, nature is also pleasant. I told you, writers very carefully take nature and story parallel. All afternoon and by evening, Langada was sitting at the pavilion above Jiten Jhora. The word Jhora comes a lot in Darjeeling language. I don't know what Jhora means actually, maybe a location. There were cement poles there and walls scribbled up with vulgar graffiti. It's very we all understand because we are in cities, we see walls with vulgar graffiti. Graffiti is that you're writing on the walls. And stained red with red pan spittle. This is quite Indian culture, people spit pan. As he leaned against the wall and looked about, the dog curled up beside him. The sun was off in the west, and now look, the story is coming to the end. Do you see? See the nature. See how writers use nature in story. Now story is coming toward the end. Now sun is going down. And the pleasant rays he had seen rising from the east in the morning were now at sunset shining on the Himalayan peaks off to the west. The sun's, see the imagery. The sun's rays shone golden on the snow peaks, highlighting the picturesque scene as darkness descended the houses. Now look, darkness descended. Now you can imagine, today Langada got money and he got the food. But we know, tomorrow he might be go hungry. So tomorrow is dark. Tomorrow is dark for him. The houses in the Chandmari neighborhood, now we know the location, gradually became indistinct. Now darkness is coming up. Why? Because Langada has another day. On this day, Langada sat for a long time watching this beautiful side of nature. It filled him with deep emotion and melancholy, feeling of sadness. He recalled events from his past life, sentimental memories of his childhood. Those days were like a dream compared to this present life. Look, nostalgia. And although he thought of the world as something beautiful, he was far removed from normal society, sitting alone in the beggar's world. So we have two words in this story. In this story, we have the world of the rich, and we have the world of the poor. We have two sansar. As darkness engulfed him, Langada made his slow, cumbrous way to a place in the chowk well lit by electric lights and sat there for a long time in the stillness. He did not want to go back to his sack that day. Why? Because, he felt, I'm not poor. If I go to sack, I'll be again poor, right? Maybe, I don't know. Sometimes later he clambered up the steps of the municipal building, spread his jute bag in a corner, made a pillow of his bundle, covered his face with an old dirty rag, and fell asleep with the dog curled up at his feet. This is very emotional scene. I have seen such scene around Naya Bazaar many times. I have seen, while coming to college early morning, around 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning, I have seen youths, young boys, sleeping with dogs around Kesar Mahal, Thamel, Naya Bazaar, by roadside I have seen. In winter I have seen young boys, 11, 12 years old boys sleeping with dogs. Langada dozed off quickly and dreamt of seeing the dog asleep beside a dirty garbage barrel. Now we have another story. Now the story is not finished yet. Now look, Langada dozed off quickly and dreamt of, Langada has a dream. Seeing the dog asleep beside a dirty garbage barrel in the dream. He saw himself sitting against the wall of a temple in the dream. On a corner of the street, as he was, a vulture came down from the sky in the dream. And he started pulling at the flesh of the dog. the dog yowled in the dream, and the vulture flew off. Now, this is a dream. Langada has a very tragic dream. The dog survived. It did not die. Still dreaming, another vulture came swooping down and sat on the body of the cripple and began to peck at his forehead. Oh God, another vulture came and began to peck on his forehead. When he screamed, many more vultures came and began to pull at his flesh. As he watched, he saw that the vultures had eaten up all the flesh from his body. Oh God, in the dream. What a horrible dream. Even then, he was trying to get up. After a while, the dog came over to him and the vultures flew off. The last thing he saw in the dream was his skeleton lying in the gutter beside the temple and the dog shitting beside. Oh God, this is... although I'm reading very fast, I'll encourage you at home when you read this story, if you read, please pay attention to the meaning of this dream. Because in our culture, we say dreams have message. Dreams have message. Look, he has only a skeleton. Have you imagined? आफ्नो सपनामा आफैलाई गिद्धले खाएर हड्डी बाहेक केही नभएर फालेको आफैलाई आमामामा कस्तो हरिबल he awoke suddenly startled by the ominous hallucination. What a dream. He was shocked and wondered about it. He got up from his half sleep and sat still. He felt all over his own body. And then reached out to touch the dog. Look, still the Langada is not worried about his body. He first touches the dog's body. उसले त आफ्नो जिउको मासु खाए देखाएको थियो नि उसले पहिला आफ्नो अफसोस साम्दैन पहिला डगलाई he cares more the dog than himself. This is मलाई यहाँनिर मन पर्यो Langada as a character. He values others more than himself. He felt all over his own body and then reached out to touch the dog. His clothes were wet with dew and the night was very still. Far off he heard the church clock strike 2. Now, the church represents God, right? One thing I have a question in this story here in this line. If I met God, I will say, oh God, why did you make some people poor? I have this question to God. I'll ask this question. God भन्दा एउटा स्टोरी सम्झे कहिले पढ्दा हुन्छ सानो स्टोरी छ सानो छैन लामै छ 100 पेज 200 पेजको छ तर तपाईमा करेज छ भने पढ्दा हुन्छ एउटा 14 वर्षको केटी हुन्छ उसलाई हरेक रात उसको बाउले बलात्कार गर्छ रात परेपछि बाउ आउँछ बलात्कार गर्छ हरेक रात तर यति इनोसेन्ट हुन्छ कि बाउले के गरेकै थाहा पाउँदैन कि यो रेप गरेको पनि बुझ्दैन उले यति सानो इनोसेन्ट हुन्छ किनकि उले बाउले यस्तो गर्छ कल्पनै हुँदैन अनि उले अब त्यो कुरा कसलाई भन्ने डर्टी त भन्ने थाहा छ उलाई आमालाई भन्न सक्दैन कसैले भन्न सक्दैन भन्न मन लाग्छ कसलाई भन्ने अनि उले चाहिँ दिनदिनै बाउ नभएको बेलामा गडलाई चिठी लेख्छ एभ्रीडे गडलाई चिठी लेख्छ डेली र चिठीमा गडलाई भन्छ त्यो सेक्सको पुरा जुन प्रोसेसन एक्ट त्यो पुरै डिस्क्राइब गर्छ कि उले त्यो चाइल्डको भाषामा यस्तो राम्रो उपन्यास छ नाम हो द पर्पल कलर लेखेको एकदमै फेमस अथरले हो एलिस वकर ALICEWALKER एलिस वकर द पर्पल कलर असाध्यै राम्रो उपन्यास छ जसमा चाहिँ न्यारेटर चाहिँ एउटा 15 year old बच्चा हुन्छ उसको पर्सपेक्टिभबाट स्टोरी डेभलप हुन्छ कि मैले कुरा किन सम्झे भन्दाखेरि ओ गॉड व्हाई यु मेक पीपल व्हाई डु यु गिभ सफरिङ टु पीपल इफ आई मीट गॉड द क्वेशन आई हैव इज गॉड यु हैव एभ्रीथिङ विथ यू You can give anything to anybody, but why then you give suffering to some people? I have this question. तपाईले मेरो तर्फबाट कसैलाई सोध्दै पनि हुन्छ चर्चमा फादर भए पनि सोधिदिनु होला पशुपतिको मन्दिर टेम्पललाई पनि सोधिदिनु होला मेरो तर्फबाट this question. Why does God give suffering to people? Because this is metaphorical, किन त्यो लाइनसिङ बाङदेलले यहाँ चर्च ल्याएको थियो इमेजरी you should analyze the church image in relation to Langada's dream. And there is something called foreshadowing in literature. foreshadowing means writers describe something which tells readers what is going to happen to the characters next in the story. So, as I read the story and see this dream, vultures eating the dog and the vultures eating Langada, I understand that tomorrow Langada is going to have a very bad day. आज पो उसले मागेर खायो त पेट भएर त आज नै मागे हो मागेर कति दिन हुन्छ त ऊ इन्डिपेन्डेन्ट त छैन भिखारीले एक दिन खाएर ऊ सधैँ दिन्छ र मान्छेले सो आई फिल लाइक टुमोरो इज गोइङ टु बी इज भेरी ट्रेजिक डे because life is cycle. When you enjoy happiness, you should understand that next due is tragedy and you should be ready for that. तपाईले कुनै एकदमै ह्याप्पी मोमेन्ट फिल गर्नुभएको छ भने प्रिपेयर हुनुहोस् कि now it's time for tragedy. Because nobody gets all happiness in life. Life is like a cycle. Life is like a ring. It keeps moving up and down. If you go up, you come down. If you come down, you have to go up, right? How far the sound of the clock reaches in the quiet of the night, one can hear the toll of the church clock so clearly in the dark stillness of the night. Now, see the scene changes, night. The story began in early morning. Story began early morning. Now it's night. And I feel like story began early morning. The sun rose and brightness came in Langada's life. Happiness came in his life. Now night is falling. Now I feel like darkness will come in his life now. And how quickly the sound fades away in the thin air as if returning to itself. Now I don't know how to interpret the sound of the church bell, but I'll say, when the church bell tolls, it's like God speaking to me. How far the sound of the clock reaches in the quiet of the night, one can hear the toll of the church clock so clearly in the dark stillness of the night, and how quickly the sound fades away in the thin air as if returning to itself. Langada felt the same. Langada felt the same, and after a long while, he moved off to another place and fell asleep again. Look how the story ends. Langada, writers use tricks to end stories. Look the trick here. When you make the hero fall asleep, the story has to end naturally. Otherwise, suppose Langada was doing something, he was not sleeping, and the story ended, you would ask a question. Oh, Lain Singh Bangdal, how come you end the story here? It's not end yet. Something is happening. So writers use this idea. There are some writers who have surprise ending. There are stories that have surprise ending. A surprise ending is the ending where the reader did not expect the story to end, and it ends. And you are most excited at the end. Here it's a normal ending. Now the character has gone to sleep, now you know the story is over. Now, I give a challenge to you, I inspire you, I request you, can you write part 2 of this story where you describe another day in his life and write your story about this cripple? I'll appreciate if anybody can write a story and submit to me. I'll award you marks for that. A creative work. Can you please write a story, Langada the other day, or your own title, right? And you can use the dream to develop the plot, or any way you like, but I want you to write a story. Here we have a break. You go for the short break for 5 minutes, and after the break we have second class. We'll begin another text. Thank you.